Hey there, it's Christy with Bold Move Makers. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Today, I wanted to talk to you about your breakthrough is closer than you think. And maybe you have been waiting on something. Like me, I have hopes and dreams and big vision that I'm waiting on. And the season of waiting can be hard for us because, to be honest with you, I spoke yesterday about, the vision and the plans and the purpose that God has for us sometimes takes longer, and it's building endurance in us. And today I wanted to continue that thought. I was listening to a message from, I believe, Pastor Mike the other day, and he was talking about the suddenly blessing. And I also spoke about how in that suddenly, or that thing we're waiting on, we want it now. And he had mentioned that the suddenly doesn't mean that there's not a process. And that really spoke to my spirit, because I think when we're waiting on something, we believe we're ready. We believe that God has already prepared us. We saw the vision that He gave us and we expected it to come within less than a few months. Maybe you've been working on something and it's taking years for that thing to come to fruition. And that word that said preparation doesn't mean that a delay won't happen. God prepares us before the fruit, right? He prepares us along the journey. And a suddenly doesn't mean it's going to happen just like that. It means that suddenly, as your process is worked out, it will manifest. It will show up. That fruit will show up. And so I wanted to read for you a scripture, and it's Amos 13. And it says, "Yes, indeed, it won't be long now. God's decree. Things are going to happen so fast your head will swim. One thing fast on the heels of another. You won't be able to keep up. Everything will be happening at once. And everywhere you look, blessings. Blessings like wine pouring off the mountains and hills. I'll make everything right again for my people, Israel." That scripture spoke to me. And one of the challenges that the pastor had given was to read that scripture every morning when you wake up. And so I did that. I prayed this morning. I got on my knees and I really was seeking God for what His plan was for me for today. And then to just guide, my journey and protect my family. And in that, I'm also looking for this suddenly in my own life. I've been going through a season of preparation, and maybe you are also going through a season of preparation. It doesn't look like what you expected. I know it's taking longer than you had hoped. And I know that you're feeling like you're forgotten. And sometimes we, in our humanness, we do feel like we've been forgotten. We feel like God isn't hearing our prayers. We feel like sometimes the support that we had hoped for has disappeared. The people that we once relied on are not there for us to lean on anymore. And that's a natural feeling that you have. The feeling that sometimes the delay is too long and you're starting to give up hope. But today I want you to remember that it said the blessing will overtake you suddenly. One thing on the heels of another. That means that you're just going to turn around and bam, there's one thing that happened and another thing that happened. And God will give you signs. And one of the things that I've seen even in my own life is that even though the thing hasn't showed up, or the plan that I had seen in my own head and the preparations and all the things that I've made haven't shown up yet, little signs are being dripped here and there. One, DM or a message, one phone call or a text message will come through. One thing that I've been looking at will reaffirm and kind of reassure me that I'm on the right track. So what is it that you're looking for today? Are you looking for the big signs? Are you missing the little signals along the way that God gives us? He will give you a big vision and a big hope and a big dream, and then He'll take you through a process to get to that thing. So no matter what you're waiting on, trust that the process is working in your favor. Trust that your suddenly is going to come. Trust that your prayers are being heard. Trust that God is faithful, even as we're faithful in the little things that He gives us to do. He said He'll make you ruler over much. Believe that God has this big plan for your life. It doesn't mean that you're going to be on big stages and you're going to have millions of dollars, but it does mean on the level that God has prepared you for, that great things are going to happen for you. Believe that even as the world is growing darker, that your light will shine brighter because God has planted something within you, that you're chosen for a purpose. Do you believe that? Do you believe that God sees you and knows you even more than you believe that you know yourself? He sees the secret desires and the hidden things that he's placed in you. I remember when I was going through a really hard season, God started to show me gifts that I didn't even know existed. He opened up things for me that I never believed were possible. I remember even once I had hoped all my life that I could sing, and man, I couldn't sing, to be honest with you. And in the spiritual kind of awakening that he was taking me through and helping me to discover who I was, it felt like he opened up my voice and gave me the ability to recover what had been lost, to find new gifts, and to be able to sing from my soul and be able to hear the sound that God gave me, which was something new. He said he will do a new thing. Do you perceive it? Do you see it? And sometimes we don't even know what that new thing is, but man, he'll show you what it is. He'll give you something so special, so new, so different, that's just for you. And sometimes we believe that it's supposed to be shared with the whole world, but sometimes it's just something that he endowed you with for him to show that he is still a God that hears you. He's still a God that believes in you. He's still a God that knew who you were already from the foundations of the world. And I know right now you don't feel that. And that's exactly a place that I've been many times in my life. Going through and losing things and losing friends and being betrayed and losing things that I had worked so hard for. Losing jobs that I had worked so hard for, and seeing that God was bringing me to a place where I would have to dig in deeper and trust him harder, trust him more than I've ever trusted in my life. And today, when it's even harder for us to be able to see light in this dark world, believe that when you crack open the word, that he'll give you something so simple as a scripture for you to meditate on and remember how good he is. And that he's a God that says he wants to bless you. Blessings like wine pouring off a mountain and hills. That's like wine flowing into rivers and streams. If you can imagine that in your head, what does that blessing look like for you? That just feels like overwhelming blessing that gives us hope, that gives us joy, that gives us peace, that gives us an understanding beyond our wildest imagination. What is the biggest thing that you could dream for right now? Is it big enough? And sometimes I believe that even when we've put so much work in and we've seen failure happen and we don't see that thing we've put our heart and soul into, blossom into something big and great, we believe that we have failed. But a lot of times God is just showing you what's in you so that when he does bring you to this place, and I spoke yesterday about that wealthy place, when he brings you to that wealthy place, you'll know what's possible. And just because something didn't make you money doesn't mean it failed. You're working as unto the Lord. You're giving him the gift back. You're showing him that you're using it and you're working with it. And I used to once believe that it had to be this big thing that made money in order to feel successful. And then I realized that art is subjective to the person who created it. And that beauty of that art is also subjective to the person who believes that it's beautiful. So not making money doesn't mean that is the success. The success is you finding joy and beauty in that thing. That's value. You brought something from nothing. You manifested something from nothing. That's a gift that God gives us. The ability to see something, to imagine it, to have the creativity to bring it into this earth. That is value. So don't forget what God has shown you. He gives you the vision. He orders your steps. He guides your path. We have to stay, postured in a place where we believe that God can still do it. And so maybe you got to look back in order to see all that he's brought you through, to know that he is still a God that is faithful. And that faithfulness looks like you are still here breathing and standing today. That looks like God hasn't let you miss something that he has shown you. You still have a roof over your head. And even if you don't right now, and you're in the season where you may be, sleeping in your car, or you're having to stay with friends, God is still faithful in that. Show him the gratitude that every day when you wake up, the small things, the little things that we can take for granted and just believe that it's supposed to be, that we say, God, I thank you. I thank you for this opportunity to even wake up again and have another day. God, I believe that you are a God that still sees me. I believe that you have shown me through my past journeys and successes that you still have a plan for me. I believe that you have created me for a purpose, to touch the lives of others, to be able to bring hope to those that have lost hope. I believe, God, that today is the day of my suddenly. Even as I go through the process of waiting, you, God, see me. You have a plan bigger than I could ever imagine. And you said the blessing would come one on the heels of another. And I believe that that is my suddenly blessing that is on the way. I trust you, God, for my future. I trust you that you have a path and that I will walk in it. That's my prayer for you today. And if you prayed that prayer, God sees you. He knows you. He believes in you. And he will show you the desires of your heart if you keep your heart turned towards him. So I thank you for tuning in. I believe that God has a plan greater for you. And as you wait on your suddenly, remember Amos 9:13. Read it for yourself and see if it encourages you. The challenge that the pastor gave was read it every day for 7 days. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I'll do it with you. I want to hear your testimony of what you're praying for and how God is showing you that you're going to come to your expected end. All right. God bless you. Until next time.